This evening, I sat down with South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, a member of the Armed Services and Judiciary Committees. Watch. First of all, on the location, do you agree that with President Trump, DMZ is the place to do this?
Yeah, the war's never ended, and it reminds you that we're still in a state of, hostilities have never ended. I like the idea of being where the armistice was signed is where you end the war. And you got to remember, if this doesn't work out, peace or war is now your option. There is no middle ground.
If this doesn't work out, is what the president has talked about. He said, I will meet with him. If he doesn't give us what we want, which is a real guarantee,
right.
a verifiable guarantee that they are denuclearized, not that they will, right?
Right.
That's the deal.
Well, Kim Jong-un's playing with the fire. If he wants to meet with Trump and he doesn't deliver and he tries to play Trump like his family's played other presidents, that's the worst possible thing he could do, because this president is serious about making sure they can never have a nuclear weapon to hit the homeland. I think signing a peace treaty for giving up North Korea nukes makes immense sense. He should get the Nobel Peace Prize, Trump, if that happens. But don't play Trump. Word of advice to North Korea, if you try to play this guy, you'll regret it.
Can he get some kind of protection promise? Because he looks at what happened to Qaddafi.
Right. And
that's a real concern for this dear leader.
Well, the dear leader has a choice to make. Before, he thought the best way to survive was have a nuclear weapon that could hit America, then we'd leave him alone. Yeah. Then along comes Trump, says, I'll never let you have that capability. Now the only way he can survive is to give up his nuclear weapons with the understanding we're going to end the war, sign a peace treaty between us, South Korea, China, and the United States. We're not going to invade North Korea, but have a treaty recognizing them as a separate country, try to normalize relationships. And for that, you have to give up your nukes. And I think that's a good deal for everybody.
I do want to play something else for you. This is Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, today. Let's watch.
The Iran deal, the nuclear deal, is based on lies. It's based on Iranian lies and Iranian deception. And in a few days' time, President Trump will make his decision on what to do with the nuclear deal. I'm sure he'll do the right thing for the United States, the right thing for Israel, and the right thing for the peace of the world.
So he says there's new evidence that they have continued elements of the program. This is from Javad Zarif, the foreign minister in Iran. He says President Trump is jumping on a rehash of old allegations already dealt with by the IAEA to nix the deal. How convenient. Coordinated timing by alleged intelligence revelations by the boy who cries wolf just days before May 12th. But Trump's impetuousness to celebrate blew the cover.
Well, number one, if you ask the Iranians today, in the past, have you tried to build a nuclear weapon? They'll say no. They're liars. You don't build power plants at the bottom of a mountain. They had a nuclear program. They were testing weapons, a detonation device on a military base. Their whole program was to get a nuclear weapon, and what would they do with it? They've been lying about their ambitions toward a nuclear weapon, but they're not lying about what they would do. They write onto their missiles, death to Israel, death to America. You've got to understand that the Ayatollah is a religious Nazi. The Iranian people are very cultured. They could be our friends. They could be our allies. But this guy's a religious fanatic. The day that we voted on the nuclear deal in the Senate, he tweeted out, Allah willing, the Zionist state will not exist 25 years from now. So Bibi has called him out. He is a liar, and Trump understands the deal as constructed is terrible for Israel, the Arabs, and us. And if I were the president, I would get out if I could not get a better deal.
So do you think there's any appetite in Washington to redo this deal in a bipartisan way?
Yes.
Really?
Trump has said three things need to change to make it a good deal. You can expect anywhere in Iran, including their military bases. So they can't deny us access to military bases. Their missile program has to be part of the deal. And the sunset clause, 15 years from now, all the inspectors leave Iran and they can march toward a nuclear weapon without cheating. You got to change those three things. The one thing I would say to my Democratic colleagues, you may have done this in good faith. You assumed that if we relieved sanctions and did a deal with Iran, they would be a better nation. They have captured our sailors on the high seas and humiliated them since the deal. They've test-fired weapons and missiles in violation of the UN resolution. They have dismembered Syria. They've taken over Yemen. They constantly threat Israel. threatened Israel. They've given Hezbollah 160,000 rockets. Everything they've done with the money since the deal shows that they don't want peace, that they really have a war agenda.
But very quickly, you think there are Democrats who will come to the table on that?
Chris Coons said he thought the president was right to make these 3 changes. So I'm going to reach out to Democrats on this show. If you will get behind the president's desire to change this deal and vote for a new deal, I will work with you to ask the president to give them 90 more days instead of withdrawing on May the 12th. If I can get Democrats to support the idea the deal needs to be changed, I would ask the president to give us 90 days, Pompeo, 90 days after May 12th to see if the Europeans can come on board. To the French, you say it's insane to get out of the deal. I say it's insane to stay in the way it is.
Senator Lindsey Graham, thank you, sir. Always good to see you.
Thank you.